Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is Defub21 and look where we are. It's The Witcher 3. I haven't actually played this game for a while because I've been playing through, as you know, Batman, Arkham Knight, and I've also been trying to play through some GTA 5. I noticed recently I started playing GTA 5 again, there's been some kind of hit on performance. Apparently it's been reported in the last patch, it may have done something. I might put up a video on just showing what the changes have been. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video like that. Right now, however, we're in Witcher 3. I'm getting back to playing this. I was going to go back to play this a while ago when they started the CD Projekt Red started talking about the new patch, which I think is called, it's 1.07 I think is what it's called. It's the new patch they've just released, which has made considerable changes to the game. So I've been waiting for that. Fixes an awful lot of bugs, makes performance optimizations in a couple areas. The first thing I would warn you, it's a big patch. It's little over 5 gigs on PC, which has really pushed my, combined with the fact that I've got my other open world games sitting on my SSD, which is somewhat limited capacity, has really pushed my SSD to the limits. I've only got 13 or 14 gigs of capacity left, which is not much at all. I have to burn through GTA 5 and to finish playing it and free, to uninstall it to free up some space. But so far, I mean, one thing I've noticed straight away is they've also made balancing tweaks to the weapons. Well, the last time I played this Valen Axe, which is a kind of secondary weapon, it's a magic item, that was the last time I played it, in terms of damage, the most powerful steel weapon I had in my possession that I could use. But now if you go look back here at the Griffin School steel sword, the damage, it actually now does 18 more damage than the steel axe. And last time I played, the steel axe did more damage, and that, which is the reason why the Griffin sword is sitting in my inventory and not equipped. That's the first thing I noticed. The second thing is, quite obviously, they've added a new inventory category for documents you can read. Obviously, I assume the ones that are highlighted, that are brighter, are ones I haven't read yet, so I'll read those. This is going to make things hugely easier in just terms of managing your inventory and all the rest. And I believe if I go down and have a look at the list, they still weigh something. Yeah, I've already read this one. I haven't read that one, so it doesn't say I've already read this one. That's good. That's even better than good. The other key thing, the crafting items now weigh nothing, which is fantastic, as that was kind of a major, for me, a source of encumbrance, because I'm something of a, as I've said, a resource management obsessive / whore, and I do like to hoard my my resources. So I've got quite a bit of stuff. Stockpiled up, and this should take a lot of pressure off, or at least should. I'll get to that in a moment. Again, other kind of items, technically they're crafting items. They're well classified as junk, so they do weigh some stuff, but it's still a big step up over where we were previously. Very pleased about that. If you can see, my inventory is rated as being 80 out of 90, so I should have effectively 10, whatever the weight is, of free carrying weight capacity. But if I go back to the game, I'm classified as being overburdened. I don't know why that is. It may have been the fact that my character was overburdened when I last saved the game, and that's the reason why it is. And now that they've changed the weight with the crafting items all weighing, and nothing, the overburdened state remains. I can't run as a consequence. This could be a bug, maybe something that they didn't anticipate. I don't know. I've got saddlebags. And I've put a lot of resources into building up my character's stamina so he can carry more. So that's a bit of a problem. I haven't really been able to. Another side note: when you install the patch, yeah, it's 5 gigs of it on PC. I think it's even more on the consoles. But on PC, at the very least, it also wipes your graphics settings. You'll have to go back in and change those all again. I'm running in windowed mode, not full screen, I suppose, but you can't really tell the difference as far as I'm concerned. It's on 60 FPS, 1080p HD TV. I've turned off VSync inside the graphics settings inside the game, and I've turned on adaptive VSync in the NVIDIA control panel, and I've also turned on triple buffering because apparently this game is very efficient in terms of GPU memory and resource usage. So triple buffering shouldn't have a negative impact on performance, and it should help me stick as close to 60 frames a second as possible. I'm reading 60 frames a second. I'm inside an enclosed environment and I'm not moving the character, but the Shadow Play, which I'm recording this on, NVIDIA Shadow Play, is reporting 60 seconds. Now it does drop to like 57, 58 sometimes outside when you played it a little bit, obviously because of the whole overburden thing, but Shadow Play does tend to eat 2 or 3 frames a second as it is when recording, so that's not necessarily an indication of any kind of significant problem. Now if you look at the right hand side of the screen, you may be noticing a chest on the minimap. That green chest is of course the other big addition to this game, and the reason I was really kind of putting off playing it anymore. One thing I've had to do is I've had to sell loot that I might otherwise have wanted to keep. Not necessarily because it would be of use to me immediately, but because it, like say for instance the leather armor you start off with at the beginning of the game, you can, if you really kind of grind the White Orchard area, you should see it in a previous video I have on the subject, is up on the channel about White Orchard, and just, you know, really grinding it, looking for all the key stuff. Even if you don't do that for the rest of the game, it just sets you up really well for the rest of the game. You can upgrade the armor that Geralt comes with when you start the game in White Orchard, using just exclusively stuff you find in White Orchard itself, and you can use that armor later as a crafting material to upgrade even better armor types. But I had to sell it off to a merchant to save weight, and if what we're about to have here, this stash system which they put in place, where effectively there's these green, as you can see them here, these green chests. I think there's only 2 of them listed on my map at the moment, but there's a whole raft of areas I've not been to, still very early on in the game, where you can basically dump your excess stuff, and you can access it from any of these other green chests found on them anywhere in the game world. So it's kind of a instant, universally accessible from multiple locations stash, which is great, which should hugely make the game easier. And why they didn't have this from the beginning, I don't know, but we'll see. Let's have a go around here, try it for the first time. There it is, stash. Ooh. Now I think I'll just dump these pants. Can't use them till I'm level 18, so transfer, yes. If you can hear that barking, it's one of my locality's dogs being a persistent pain in the rear. I'll have to go shut him up in a bit. Dump this axe because I can't use it for the moment. And okay, so I can't dump books or any reading materials, but they're now effectively, I think, weight free, and they're sitting in their own subcategory, 1. And 2, the crafting ingredients are effectively free in terms of weight, so they don't add any weight. I'm pretty sure the gold rings and stuff, those can be broken down as crafting ingredients. Maybe, I don't know why they're necessarily, well, they're classified as junk for some reason. But if you can find the right merchant, you can sell them for quite a bit of dosh. But yes, that is very, very cool. The number of times where I've come out of a mission or just a couple of engagements where I've encountered, I'll dump this Grave Hag trophy in there for the moment, and this Forgotten Varian, which is a relic steel sword. The number of times I've come out of missions or just wandering the map with a huge number of swords and axes and things that I'd like to, keep or to use for raw materials, or that I end up having to sell just to save weight, is, it's been considerable, to say the very least. Yes, the full implications of this in terms of how I play the game, particularly as a, grade A hoarder of things / collector of things, cannot be what's the word for it? Cannot be underestimated. But so far, so good. Again, you're going to have to redo all your graphic settings. I haven't tried out the new character movement, and I'm only mostly settings because the way Geralt moves, because I've found the way he moves, it can be a bit annoying inside closed environments and buildings when you're trying to get at things, but I've been able to figure it out and how to do it, so I'm not going to really bother with that. But so far, so good. I won't really know about the kind of overall verdict in terms of performance for a little while. Again, I've got NVIDIA Hairworks and all that stuff off because it's a giant performance hog and, you know, bleh. So, me no like. Great game. Can't wait to start playing it again. They seem to have tweaked some of the stuff. This is another thing as well. If I'd been sitting on a stash, if that stash been here already, I'd have to go through all the kit I've got to find out what they've buffed and what they've, you know, negged, because they've clearly buffed this. And this sword is now, well, the steel sword is now better than my axe, and prior to the axe I've currently equipped, and prior to this patch, the axe was superior to this sword, which is one of the reasons why I had it in my inventory and it wasn't equipped. Anywho, this is Defub21. If you enjoyed this video, go check out my channel. Have a look at some of the videos I've got there. Some of the more recent ones have got much better mic quality because of some kit I've gotten my hands on. And if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel. This is Defub21 signing off. So far, so good. Me likey stash. Actually, let's go just for a second. Let's just quickly see if I'm now no longer overburdened. Fantastic. So I'm no longer overburdened. Hopefully that fixed that bug. Actually, let's quickly just see if I put all this gear back in my inventory. So I'm back up to 80. Am I overburdened again? No. Okay, so I'll have to try that out. Maybe see if I go all the way to 90 without or just under 90 without burdening myself. See if that works. And hopefully I'm no longer going to be overburdened. That was just just a one-off thing because of where, when, and how, and where I'd saved. But anyway, this is Defub21. Very much coloured me impressed. Though actually, I would, considering how much, just go to inventory, considering how much stuff I've actually got, crafting stuff I've got, you would think the weight savings would be greater, but I probably had over 90 weight in my inventory before the crafting stuff's weight went to 0, so fingers crossed anyway. Oh, I've got so much stuff, particularly for just a mere level 11. As I already said, though, again, if you like this video, look at my channel. If you like what you see there, please subscribe. This is Defub21 signing off. Toodaloo.